I will tell you the only other thing I said is I thought it was really important we put a 0 up in the first inning. I don't know if I said that to you guys, but we obviously didn't. But look, man, Aggie's hit, it was, you couldn't describe it as any bigger. I mean, it just, it lifted the roof off the place, and the first inning was loud from then on. The rest of the game, whenever we got a scoring situation, it got really loud, and I thought it helped us. It certainly put a crazy amount of energy in the dugout, and it made it a lot of fun.
And the first row to your right.
Craig, I think 6 of your 7 runs were with 2 out in addition, and the approach, especially early on, it seemed like you were able to take Ryu to the opposite field a little bit, part of your success tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a case where we executed well. It was, it was just get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it, and we did for really since game 1, I thought it was the first time we really did a heck of a job at getting our pitch to hit a lot of the night. So, the first inning, Aggie kind of takes what they give him. He did that all night. 3 hits where he went to the opposite field. Moose got a curveball for a strike and put a good swing on it. Kratzy goes the other way and just gets one through the hole. But we were kind of aggressive, actually, after in that first inning. But you're right, a lot of opposite field hits.
In the middle of the second row, Drew.
As tense as things were, did you get a moment to chuckle about Corey's at-bat, and what was the chess game that went into his first at-bat since high school?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I think anytime, look, in the National League, it's always, 7 away, you got to run in, 6 away, the guy might hit with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So my decision is I got to take, Lorenzo, Christian, or Ryan out of the game if I want to guarantee Corey doesn't hit. I chose not to, and that's the one inning that he can have an at-bat there. But, I had no intention of taking him out. You're hoping something crazy happens with, you're hoping he walks, really. I thought he took a decent swing, and then a not-so-decent swing.
In the first row, Tyler.
Craig, late in the season, Braun seemed to know that he was going to start putting up big numbers, and it was only a matter of time, and he has. What have you seen from him, I don't know, the last month or so, and how much of a force is he compared to the guy we remember from years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right with Ryan. He got himself, there was a stretch this season where I think he'd tell you he was struggling. We got to the month of September. He had a little bit of a health issue kind of early in September. Mid-September, we kind of started, we acquired Curtis Granderson, and Curtis was playing some significant playing time against right-handed pitching. I remember we went to St. Louis, and, Ryan woke up at 9 o'clock and told everybody, I'm back. And it was really as simple as that. He homered off Flaherty that day, had a great series in St. Louis. And he's been, that, middle of the order bat to me since kind of that last week of the season. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you what happened, but I think he'd tell you too. It was that day in St. Louis where things really changed for him.
You've also, from a personal standpoint, you've known him, you've been his teammate for a long time. With all the ups and downs of his career, have you seen him sort of mature or change? Yeah,
the one thing I'd say is I think what's fun for me to watch is I think Ryan's enjoying this as much as anybody on our team. He spent his whole career here. I think at one point, probably when I took the job, I don't know if he thought his career would end in any more playoff games, and so I think he's enjoying this. I think he's enjoying this part of it as much as anybody is because of that.
We'll take a last one for Craig from Jared.
How close were you to use tonight, and how important was it that he did not have to pitch at all?
Yeah, so he was up. Probably the closest was the 8th inning. We were up. We tacked on a run there to make it 6-2. We sent Corbin out there. he was going to have Turner and Bellinger, and if anybody got on, it was probably going to be Josh. I'm sorry, he was going to have Turner and Machado. If anybody got on, I think Josh would have had Bellinger. So, Corbin did go 6 up and 6 down, and that's what keeps Josh out of the game. In addition that we tacked on some runs, and then we gave him some space in the 9th to just keep going. So, best case scenario for sure for us.
How many innings think you go tomorrow, Hader?
12. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean it's he's fresh. He got up tonight. We'll see how he goes, but you'll see him tomorrow.
Yeah, it was in high school back in 2010. I was a pretty good hitter. So, but it was a lot of fun tonight, being in the box. It was a good feeling. I know my hands were shaking. I was nervous. So.
If I could just follow, whose equipment were you using? I assume you don't have a bat helmet on us.
No, I had Hernan's helmet, Hernan's gloves, and Arcia's bat.
Other questions? To your left, guys.
Corbin, I'm guessing you knew that if one of those two guys reached to start your appearance, that Josh Hader might be brought in. Were you aware of that? Did you think that you could end up going 2 innings? And I guess then how important were those first 2 at-bats for you, knowing that you could save a guy in the bullpen?
I just want to go out and just attack both Turner and Machado. And if it did so, if they did want to bring in Hader, obviously that's up to Counsell. But I just want to go out and attack those guys, and hopefully I got out of it clean. I did.
Other questions? Tom?
JJ, you guys, it's no secret that how much the bullpen's been used. A lot of the high leverage guys weren't used in the last game and then the day off. How nice was the reset? It just looked like everybody, was on top of their game tonight. Did that little break help a little bit? I know you and Corey had pitched in every game in the postseason until that last one.
I think it was big for that day off yesterday. A lot of guys, we slept in our own beds. We got plenty of rest. But I think it didn't even matter to us who was available or anything like that. We just wanted to get through this game with a win. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. It meant a lot for us to save Hader, definitely, and get this win today.
And right up front here.
Corey, as you slam your Gatorade there, you get the first call following Wade, but isn't that part of the beauty of the bullpen? I mean, it could have been Corbin, JJ, you, Corbin, JJ. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? Isn't that part of the strength of your bullpen is that at any point in any given time, you guys are available to shut down the opposition?
That's our motto down there. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. And, we're ready to go. So, starters get as much as they can done. And, look, you go as long as you can for as hard as you can, and we'll come in and finish the rest. That's our job, and we did it pretty well tonight.
To your left, guys. Jesse?
For any of you three, last time Buehler faced Chacin, all the sort of talking heads on TV picked the Dodgers. I wonder if that's not a surprise to you. Chacin seems to fly under the radar, but has pitched amazing. Is that kind of the feeling you get about him? He's not as appreciated as he maybe should be?
Honestly, you could say that. But that's the type of stuff that we do not pay attention to. I think the biggest part of Chacin's game is to just know what he has to do, what he's capable of doing, and for the people, the naysayers, to doubt our abilities on the field, we just shut them up. That's all we have to do. Just go right at them and just shut them up.
And Tyler, if we can get him the microphone.
Jeremy, you've been here, obviously, I guess 3 different times in your career in Milwaukee. Fans really made themselves heard tonight. What is it about this fan base, not just in good times, but also in bad times, that makes these people here seem like really supportive of you guys, ups and downs?
I think they know what we know, is what type of team we are, what we're capable of doing. And these fans, like you said, all year, no matter what happened, they've packed it out, have given us at least 30 to 40 every single game. And it means a lot to us to see that they're behind us all the way, no matter what. And you were right. Tonight was just so loud. I thought they were going to open the roof. It was just unbelievable. And I can only imagine what tomorrow is going to feel like. But I think that's the best part about Milwaukee is the fan base is still there no matter what, and it's just behind us.
Just a couple more up top on the left.
For Corey and Jeremy, you guys have been through some struggles, ups and downs this year, highs and lows. How cool is it to be playing in a Game 7 to go to the World Series?
You know, it's funny because none of that stuff matters. You know, it was in the past now. So, I mean, it's all going to be laid out on the line tomorrow. You know, whatever happens, happens. And
Yeah, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. And I mean, that's one of the biggest things everybody struggle with a little bit is once they face some adversity, they start to put their heads down a little bit. But we're just keeping that. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. And to have Game 7 in our house is probably the biggest advantage we're gonna have. And we're gonna try to use it as our advantage and just play our game honestly.
And to your right, Nancy on the third row.
Following up on that, JJ, so is there pressure on you guys, or are you looking at this as the pressure's all on the Dodgers?
For Game 7?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the pressure is pressure. I mean, it's gonna be in the house the whole game tomorrow. I think it's more on them just because they're on the road, and we have a great starter that's going to go right at each one of their players and hold nothing back. And again, to have our bullpen still fresh like we are, it's going to be a whole lot of pressure on them.
Anything else for the relief crew? Tom will finish up with.
Corbin, I know we've talked to you about this before, but the story just keeps getting better. You're not on the 40-man at the start of the year. You're a starting pitcher, and you change it to relief. They bring you up here, throw you right in, high leverage, and now you just pitched your team into Game 7, the first Game 7 that's ever been played for the Brewers in Milwaukee. What do you think about that?
It's pretty awesome just to have been given the opportunity to come up and to join this team. It was a great group of guys, and I was fortunate to come up and join a great bullpen. They helped me, the whole way, guide me through it, give me advice, and to be in this spot, playing in the World Series basically, it's pretty special, and I can't wait to see what the atmosphere is like tomorrow. And like these guys said, we're in a good spot. We got Chastain on the mound, healthy bullpen. Didn't use Hader tonight, so I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I think especially after they jumped ahead on David Freese's homer, I thought it was incredibly important for us to answer back as quickly as possible, to keep the crowd into it, keep the pressure off of us a little bit. Obviously, you just want to find a way to score one, whether it was in the first or second inning. So to score 4 right there was just very encouraging. I think it was inspiring for us for the rest of the game and encouraging for us as we move forward into tomorrow, because there were a lot of guys who had good at-bats there in the first inning and continued throughout the course of the game.
In the third row, Nancy.
Ryan, when Craig was in here, he was talking about that day in St. Louis that he thought really kind of turned it around for you. Can you take us through what exactly changed and what you felt like when you came into the clubhouse that morning? And also, too, you've spent your entire career here. What's it like to be going into a Game 7 in the NLCS?
I think when we were playing in St. Louis toward the end of the season, I think for us, we felt like our postseason started at that time. And I think that's when baseball is most enjoyable. It's most enjoyable for me, and I think for any of us that have been playing the game for a while. I just woke up, I'd added adrenaline and excitement and enthusiasm to be able to play in that series. I felt good physically, and I've been able to carry it on, over the last few weeks. And as far as being here for my whole career playing in Game 7, it means the world. It's exciting for me. It's exciting for everybody in our organization. It's exciting for our fans. I'm sure the energy and enthusiasm in the ballpark tomorrow will be unlike anything any of us have experienced here. So I'm just as excited as anybody else or everybody else will be tomorrow.
Tyler, we'll get you the mic here in the first row.
Ryan, if I remember right, I think you said years ago, like when you committed to sign here for a long time, that it would almost mean more to win it here once than it would be to win multiple times somewhere else. What is that? What was sort of that statement all about? And I'm sure you still feel that way, but now that you're so close to it, why?
It's just about the amount of time I've spent here, everything I've been through in my career while playing here, the relationships I have, not just with the players, but with the coaches, the strength coaches, the clubhouse attendants, the security guards, the ushers. I've spent so much time in the city. I have such a special relationship with, the fans, with the whole community here. And just understanding how much that would mean to all of them is the thing that makes me most excited about hopefully, making it to the second World Series in Brewers history tomorrow.
the highs and lows, obviously mentioned, been well documented. But when you were at the low point, I guess in 13, did you ever think, did you ever doubt that you might have a night like this or an opportunity like this again?
I think in 2016, when I was close to getting traded a couple times, I think that the conversation that I had with David Stearns, with Mark Attanasio, was whether we would get back into a point where we were contending at all while I was here during the duration of my contract. So I obviously didn't know that that would happen. I think for any team that we've seen go through a rebuild phase, typically it takes a lot longer than it took for us to get back to this position. So there were certainly times when I questioned it, because obviously, what we kind of did and what the organization accomplished by getting us back to a point where we were at where we are really starting last year, but also into this year, and being consistently competitive typically takes a lot longer than we've saw our rebuild take.
Tom in the second row.
Moose, there were. Hey, yeah, we're going to ask you some questions too. The offense, was getting a little frustrated. It seemed like in those last two games, that long game with one run, and then obviously Kershaw is really great. What did it mean to break loose right away tonight? And it looked like the crowd really got into it right there, and it just looked like the energy totally changed for this team right there, and it just looked like it. For the rest of the game, you guys had it.
Yeah, it was like Ryan said, it was huge to be able to answer back in that first inning. After the homer, one would have been great, two would have been awesome. To put up four right there just gives us a lot of confidence and the ability just to go throughout the rest of the game, just to keep adding runs on and trying to build your lead, and then turn it over to that bullpen. And with the way Wade was throwing the ball for us today, it was phenomenal. And the excitement, the electricity in that stadium, once we had that big first inning, it carried us throughout the rest of the game, and you can feel that as a player. You feed off of it, and it was an electric atmosphere in there tonight for sure.
Do two more. Third row and then Tyler.
Mike, you've been in the World Series, obviously. So what's special about this group that you think can get back? And then for both of you, you guys have known each other for so long. What's it like to share in this moment together?
Yeah. Every team's different. Every season's different. And, with this group, we have that never say die attitude. We're never going to quit no matter, what the score is, where we're at in the ball game. Everybody pulls for each other. And that's just a sign of good baseball teams. And, everyone's picking each other up when someone's not getting the job done. And, 1 through 10, 11, 12, we've got depth in the lineup. We got depth in the bullpen. We got a great starting staff with being able to get into those games and get into those bullpens. And as far as playing with Ryan, it's honestly a dream come true, man. When you're a kid from where I'm from and where he's from, you hear about how great of a ball player he is, and going up through the ranks of Little League and college, and to be able to share the field with a true friend and go out there every day and grind it out with them, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun, and it's hopefully after tomorrow we get to keep doing it. But it's just been such a fun ride to be able to come out here and go play ball with your friends.
We'll take a last quick one from Tyler.
Do you want me to add on to that?
I would love to.
I feel the same way. I've known Moose since he was in high school. I've been vouching for him since the offseason. I've had a lot of conversations with front office and with Counsell about trying to get him over here, because I knew not only what type of ball player he was, but what type of teammate he is. I think this guy cares about winning baseball games as much as anybody in our league, and there's real value there. But obviously it's special for me. It feels more meaningful to have an opportunity to play with somebody who's truly a friend of mine. I've known him since he was in high school. I've known Gio Gonzalez since he was in high school as well. So just adding both of those guys, for me personally, has made playing baseball more enjoyable and this whole experience a little bit more special.
And a last quick one from Tyler.
Mike, you were in the World Series twice with Kansas City, a team that hadn't made it in just about the same length, 36 years here, 29, 30 years there. What is it? Are there similarities sort of in the vibe around town or in the ballpark with a city that's gone so long without a World Series?
Yeah, there's the buzz is real. You walk into the city or you're on your way home and you see all the signs and you see all the fans wearing all their Brewers gear. You see the Braun jerseys, you see the Yelich jerseys, and the small market atmosphere is unbelievable. It's more personal. It's unbelievable to come out here and enjoy this with the fans and show up every day with this electric crowd that we have. And it was very similar to Kansas City in that way. You know, the fans, you know, I've only been here for a couple months, you know. Ryan's been here for years, but the fan base has been here for however long. So that's kind of how we looked at it in Kansas City is, you know, we're here just to help get to the World Series and win it, but the fan base has been fans for longer than I've been playing. So it means so much for us to try and win it for them.